A former charter school administrator is accused of stealing thousands of dollars, according to Illinois State Police investigators. 39-year-old Emily Wallen of Rockford is accused of 1 count of theft and 1 count of official misconduct. ISP began an investigation in September 2024 after they received a tip accusing Wallen of the crime. Wallen was previously the executive director of Jackson Charter School in Rockford. Investigators claim they found evidence that Wallen used funds from the school for personal gain. In a statement, the Rockford Charter School Organization Board of Directors says Wallen resigned in July of 2024. Wallen is expected to return to court tomorrow.